Hey everyone, so it's been a long time. I apologize, but a lot has been going on. I am finally full term. I am 37 weeks. I thought it was like 38, 39, but my midwife told me I'm full term now, so anything's fair game. I know the last update that I gave you guys was my week 26, I think. So we'll kind of like dive straight into it because there's, not much fluff to add in. The week's just kind of been going by painfully slow. I did do the glucose test on my week 28. That's when I did a couple of more blood tests where they did the HIV and the plasma something and some other test. I don't know, they drew a lot of blood and they did those tests and they all came out negative. And also the glucose, I was within the range of being all right. I don't have the pregnancy diabetes, thank God. That's also when they give you the packet of things to fill out, like you're gonna pick your pediatrician. This is if you go in with like a birthing center / midwives. I don't know if they do something similar or different with regular hospitals, but I'm going in with a natural birth. They give you a packet, you choose your pediatrician, and they will come to the hospital, right after your labor, check the baby out, and then I'm allowed to go home same day. Once it's done, once I'm ready to go home, I can go home. So I don't have to like stay there for like 3 days. That's when you start filling out the birth certificate and you pick your baby's name. Also, that's when you kind of fill out your living will, just in case anything happens or anything goes wrong. And if you end up losing your life while you give birth to your child, who does what, who's in charge of, whatever. That's not a fun sheet to fill out, really. It's not nice to really think about. That kind of threw me off, but everything else, it was fun and happy and nice. Thank you, Sunshine. My cat found his snack, so he's playing with a little toy right now, so sorry if it's loud. Week 30, I had my baby shower. It was really, really nice. It was kind of like a tea thing. Hold on, I'll be right back. Sunshine. Okay, sorry. Yeah, my baby shower was really nice. It was like a tea party kind of theme. It was drive-by. Everybody came by. We were all outside, had our masks on, and people gave their love, their prayers, their gifts, and it was lovely. But after week 31, that's pretty much when everything just went downhill. That was around the time where I don't know, there's so many hurricanes. I think it was Hurricane Ida. I don't know. But it was a lot of rain, a lot of humidity, and pretty much my asthma went into full gear, and so did my allergies, like all at once. So it was completely miserable and I couldn't really do much of anything because a lot of the medication, like, you're not really supposed to be taking while you're pregnant. And when you look deep into a lot of the things that were taken, it's not really advised. So it was a rough, I would give it like a 2.5 weeks of not being able to really breathe at all straight through the day. And then on top of that, like, when I'd go lay down to go to sleep, the baby would sit on my lungs, so it would be even more difficult to breathe. And then when I'd go out wearing a mask on top of that, it was brutal. Luckily, it only lasted like 2 weeks or so, and then the weather kind of cleared up and got itself back together, and I was okay. I think on my next visit, I think that was like 32, either 32 or 34, one of those. There was a size discrepancy, and that was just because I feel that the midwife that I had that day, because there's a couple of them in the facility where I'm going to be going to, she measured my stomach differently than everybody else, and so she said it was off by like 3 centimeters of what I should be, but I feel like she measured 3 centimeters lower, but we're not going to get into that. So I ended up having to schedule another ultrasound. That was the first time actually my husband was allowed into the hospital to be with me with the ultrasound because of COVID and all of that stuff. Like, nobody else other than the patient was allowed in those areas. even with the midwives. And so it was nice. He got to at least see the baby. Unfortunately, it was like really quick and you couldn't really hear the heartbeat or anything, because the further along you are in your pregnancy, the less you want to be putting that radiation and everything like around your baby, because then it'll hurt them. So it was really quick, but at least he got to experience it with me, and he was able to come into the meetings with the midwives and, you know, ask all the questions he wants to ask and hear everything he needs to hear without me having to dreadfully repeat everything in a terrible, horrible way, because I'm not a really good message relayer. So that was nice. But in the end, everything was good. My baby was a little bit overweight. Not really overweight, but like 1.5 pounds heavier than normal. And the size was just on track. So it was just a minor mistake. I wasn't really too worried because I knew she kind of measured it differently, and I didn't feel like it was anything wrong, like deep in my soul. So I wasn't stressing it too much. I also did the urine culture test again around week 32, I think, or 34. I don't know. I don't know anymore. It's like they all blend in. I'm pretty sure it was week 32. I did that culture test, and I had to do it at the very beginning of my pregnancy. The first time I went in to see the midwives, and when I had my first ultrasound, I did the urine culture test, and then they do it again towards the end of your pregnancy just to make sure everything's good. And of course, everything was good. So you know, it's just routine. And then week 36, which was last week, I did the strep group B test. With that test, it doesn't hurt the adult body or does anything to your own body, but it might affect your child like while you're giving birth. So if it comes out positive, they're gonna have to give you antibiotics during the labor just so it won't transmit or affect the baby. If it's negative, then you don't have to do anything. When I did my last checkup, like yesterday, it was good. It came out negative and I don't have to have the antibiotics, and the doctor said I'll be okay, you know, if my water breaks whenever, and so I can kind of chill and relax until I have the correct amount of contractions. Then I go in. And then pretty much during my last visit that I just did like yesterday, like now, okay, basically when you find that you're pregnant, they will wait like up until not even week 7, like week 8 or 9, then they'll schedule your ultrasound, because of course you're not going to tell that you're pregnant until like week 4, so then they'll wait like 4 weeks later, and then you'll schedule your first ultrasound, and then that's when everything kind of kicks into play. And then you will see if you're doing like midwives like I am, you'll see your midwife once a month, and then I guess around week 28, that's when you start seeing your midwives every 2 weeks. And basically once you get to week 36, then you got to go in every single week just so they can keep an eye on everything and, you know, make sure everything's good. Basically, she told me that I am full term, and she told me things that I can do to kind of help soften the cervix and like get it ready for when I do go into labor. She suggested drinking raspberry leaf tea and eating dates. I tried dates for the first time like an hour ago, and I don't really like it. It tastes like a weird candy to me, and I don't like the texture, but I'm gonna actually eat it every day because I don't want a miserable labor, and it's supposed to help. You know, I didn't even notice he was sitting on the table. He shouldn't be sitting there. Anyways, what else did she say? She also said, I have to think of a better way to phrase this right now because I don't want to get demonetized. But another thing that will help soften your cervix and be a faster labor and much easier is fun times. Fun times at night that you would have with your partner. Fun times will help a lot, and if you know there's fireworks going on both sides, that will help soften your cervix and everything. She also told me I should get one of those exercise balls to do a lot of squats and stuff like that, just to get my body, I'm rolling away, get it ready. So that's basically where we're at. I packed my hospital bags, sort of. I feel like I'm packing too much because right now I'm on like bag 3, but I also am packing just in case I do have to be transferred to the hospital, because the birthing center and the hospital are connected. Just in case anything goes wrong, like I'm good either way. So if they need to rush me over to like the ER, then they could just roll me out and roll me down the hallway and I'll be in the hospital. So yes, when you are in the hospital, you do have to stay more than 1 day. So I'm packing just in case, but hopefully I don't have to touch any of that stuff. But you know, I can't predict the future. So the misery that I experienced after week 30, of course it was the asthma and the allergies, and I looked it up. I don't know what it is and I don't know why it is, but they do say like when you're in like week 31 to like 36-ish, your asthma just kind of goes crazy, and mine definitely did. I have a lot of back pain and discomfort, and that's just because there's so much weight on my stomach and hanging over. So it's really pulling my lower back skin, and it's uncomfortable and it hurts. And also I've been noticing a lot of bruises pop up on my left leg, and that's the same leg that I've just been getting like crazy Charlie horses with. If I even like point my toe a little too hard, it just would like cramp up. And also like now I'm experiencing like a really sharp pain, like kind of in my honey bun area, and it just shoots down my leg, and like it hurts to where I can't even like move it, and I'm not even really putting any weight or anything on it. So I don't know what's up. Maybe there's a pinched nerve somewhere, or I don't know, but it's annoying. I did get one of those pregnancy belly straps to help, because whenever I'd walk, all of the weight would just kind of pull forward and it would really hurt. So I'd have to like carry my stomach, and it would look like I'm like smuggling something in the store whenever I go to the store. So I put on the back brace, and that kind of would help and support, and it was very useful when I was packing and moving things. But you're also not really supposed to be wearing that for a long time either, because it can constrict your stomach even if you don't put it too tight. So I kind of stopped wearing it. My husband kind of pointed it out, and I didn't really think about it like that, so glad he did. And also it'll just kind of weaken your muscles a little bit if you rely too much on it, so then it's just make it harder when you're not wearing it, so you don't want to become fully dependent on like a back brace for sport. I don't really have to do the kick count because this little one never ever stopped moving since like week 13, from when I could feel the little bubbles. She's just been trying to break out ever since, and now since there's no more room, she still moves and kicks. And the issue is, because there's no room, I don't know where she can go. Her feet are like all the way on the side of my stomach, and then her head's really low, close to my, I'm trying to think of friendly words to use, close to Viv. I'll call it Viv. It's just, it's no room in here, and she still kicks and moves like there is. And so all of my organs are getting hit and pushed, and like there's the one nerve that just goes straight down the middle, and it hurts really bad. So sometimes I can feel her like either move it or get wrapped around. I don't know what she's doing there, but she needs to chill. Bathroom trips, it's kind of tricky now, because it'll feel like I have to go to the bathroom like really, really bad, and it'll just be like this much, and that's probably because her weight is sitting on my bladder. But I mean, I'm able to hold it for a really, really long time and actually sleep through the night, because I guess I'm too tired, and before I wasn't able to, so I would still call that a plus. The problem is, it doesn't hit you until it hits you. Like, I don't feel that I have to use the bathroom until it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna like wet myself right now if I don't get to a bathroom. That's the only issue. When I do hold it and I don't even notice. It is rough when I wake up in the middle of the night and actually have to like finally go use the bathroom, because then it just hurts and I have to like hurry up. So Definitely, if you don't notice that you're not going to the bathroom often, make sure you just go, just to ease your pain. Basically, the only other issue that I experienced was Viv swelling. I didn't really experience like swelling of my hands or my feet or my toes or anything like that, or my legs, or just my whole body kind of stayed normal. It's just because I guess the baby sits so low, it puts so much pressure on Viv that it's just, it was awful. Especially when it was like really hot and just uncomfortable, and it was just, it was difficult. Now kind of chilled since she shifted a little bit, and I don't know, I'm just ready. I'm ready for this baby to get out. Other than that, like, my pregnancy brain has kicked in full on throttle the past like 2 weeks. I cannot multitask. Before I can multitask and think of 80,000 different things, but now it's just I can't. I can only focus on one thing at a time, or I'll get a headache and then I'll get moody and grumpy, and then it's like the end. I almost forgot to even mention that I had pregnancy brain, so because it was like the pregnancy brain, so I couldn't really, I don't know, it pops up. Oh, also another thing was cracking and dry skin of your cheese nips. It's just because of the hormones and everything. You just have to make sure you're moisturizing your skin everywhere, and your stomach. The doctor said it can either just be dry skin or dried colostrum, I think that's what it's called. So you know, it could be leaking colostrum and, you know, drying up and irritating my skin that way. One of the things that I got was Earth Mama Organics cheese nips butter, and I use that for my friends, and for my stretch marks and things I use bio oil, which is really helpful. I haven't gotten any stretch marks or anything, but I do experience hyperpigmentation just from any little thing. So from my stomach stretching, it does crack, so it leaves like dark marks, so I'm just gonna have to deal with that and kind of have that fade out once I do have the baby. My line in the middle darkened a lot, and so did my belly button, so it's kind of weird. Should I show you? I guess I'll show you. This is pretty much what it looks like. The issue that I have, like, I don't care that the line is like darkened, and I haven't seen this line in anyone else's stomach really. I don't know if I'm the only one. I'm sure I'm not, but anyways, because before I was pregnant, this line was completely straight and centered, and now since the baby's here, it curves, and it's like, it's not even. Oh my gosh, sorry. It's not even, and because it's not even, the OCD in me, it drives me nuts, so I try not to look at it. I know it's not a big deal, so I mean, hopefully it lines back up straight, but I think because the little one is laying crooked, that it sits crooked. It is around week 36 or so where you do feel Braxton Hicks contractions every once in a while. I don't think I've experienced them. The only thing is just, I don't know, like, I do feel sharp pain, but I've been experiencing the same kind of symptoms for my period every single month of when it's time to come, and of course it's kind of around that time where it's going to be time to come, which is kind of close to my due date anyways, and so it's kind of hard to determine the difference because I do experience contractions rather than like stomach cramping, so I can't really tell the difference. And then also because the baby's moving so much and she's hitting the nerves, I don't know what it is. So I don't consider it anything, but the doctor said if it's like really unbearable, then it's gonna be contractions. So if you really feel it in your Viv and also like really like tight around your stomach, then it's a contraction. I did start my maternity leave and it's been nice, a little odd waking up and thinking every day is like kind of the weekend, but I know it's not, and everyone else is working, so it is a nice resting time, so I'm able to like unpack and get everything together and keep the place clean and just able to rest because my energy just kind of it's going further and further downhill, and I've been wanting to exercise and do things, and I can't. I stand up for like 10 minutes and then I'm ready to go to sleep. So that's the only thing. And then the problem is my cat wants to play even more now. I don't know if he notices the pregnancy. I think he's still choosing to ignore it, but I think he can tell when it gets closer and closer to the due date, he wants to play more and more and wants me to like run around with him and like pet him and play with him. And I feel like he's like, this is my last chance for being an only child. So I feel bad, so I do try, but I can't bend over for too long. So he hasn't been too happy. So he just takes what he can get. I don't think I will record like a labor portion of it. It'll just probably be after I have the baby for an update. Just because I'm not nice when I'm in pain, and that's just not how I am able to like internalize and handle and contain, you know, my pain. So I don't like when a lot of people are like in my ear. I don't want a camera in my face, and I just want to be able to focus because I will not be using any epidural or any medications or anything, so it'll be full on natural 100%. And so I'm gonna need to concentrate, and I can't do that with a camera in my face and thinking about recording and filming. So I think the next pregnancy update status will be probably after I have the baby. But other than that, you might get a couple of, you know, pregnancy videos sprinkled throughout. So we'll see. We'll see where my energy takes me. So I guess with that being said, have a wonderful night, morning, evening, or afternoon, whenever you're watching. And I will see you lovelies next time. And I promise I won't wait this long, but I had to get situated. And so I'm finally in a new place. And so I can start filming again. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.